couple of days ago, Chad Reuter of NFL.com put out a draft that it's a 7-round draft that included all the active players in the NFL. It's really interesting idea. I've never seen anything done like this before, but I have thought about it. Like if you were to completely redraft the NFL, how would the picks go? So I think this is going to be kind of cool, kind of a cool thing to look at. We'll see where some of the Vikings players landed. We'll go through the first round completely, and then kind of narrow it down to Vikings players. So yeah, let's jump in and see what his draft looks like.
Before we do that, though, I want to thanks everybody for watching the GG Sport podcast of the Minnesota Vikings, where we endure heartbreak but always bleed purple. We're literally 2 followers or 2 subscribers away from 500. So subscribe, get us over 500. We're on a road to 1,000 officially after that. And yes, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, get notifications for more of our videos, and let's check this mock draft mock draft out.
All right, cool. So let's start with the rules that he's got here. So teams are listed on a first round order from the 2022 draft, restoring traded away picks to the original holders, which means we will not be moving down to 32 and giving up more picks. The subsequent rounds are snaked to distribute talent more evenly among the 32 franchises. No trades or compensatory selections were included. And because of the uncertainty surrounding his playing status, no Deshaun Watson. So let's jump in, see what it looks like. So we're starting off with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they fucked up already. So, sorry, I dropped an F-bomb there, but I had to. How do you take...
well-deserved.
How do you take 30 billion-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who can't win an NFC championship game, number 1 overall? Like,
yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I swear the NFL is so biased towards the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Like, there's no question. Aaron Rodgers is a stud, but if you're going to start a new team, that's who you're going to pick number 1 overall.
Right.
There's guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen and
who, like, I would assume that, or Tom Brady even at number 2.
Number 2. I know Tom Brady's freaking.
Now,
that makes more sense.
I mean, I get it. You know, like the Jaguars and the Lions, just like the Vikings, I don't think never won a Super Bowl. So I get it. You want to get that right off the bat Super Bowl potential win with 2 guys like this. But Aaron Rodgers only won 1. Hasn't been there since 2010. Tom Brady, I understand, especially if you're Detroit, get him in, win your Super Bowl, and then you can, die a happy Lions fan. But how would you not take a young stud like Patrick Mahomes at 1 or 2?
I take Mahomes number 1 overall. I think. Who would you pick number 1 overall if you
probably the guy you're going to see next in Josh Allen. Josh Allen would be my number 1 overall pick in this draft. The guy, I mean, he has everything you're looking for. He's got the arm, he's got the legs, he's got the speed, he's got the leadership abilities. Now, I think Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are a tied 1-2. I personally like Josh Allen just a little bit better than Mahomes, and I don't know why. It's just gut feeling. That's what I'm going with. But the fact that these 2 teams up here take the 2 old guys over these 2, like the future of the NFL, to me is just...
It's not just the future of the NFL. They're easily, arguably better to have on your team right now.
Right.
I would take Patrick Mahomes' talent over Aaron Rodgers right now. And over time. I mean, Tom Brady literally is just retired. You can't deny Tom Brady and everything with his age and stuff, like how well he's played. But he's not like the number 1 quarterback in the league type, I wouldn't say. No. But
Patrick Mahomes has been to what? How many Super Bowls has Patrick Mahomes played in? 2, 3, right?
I think
he won 1, lost 2.
I think he might have. Did he lose 1?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
lost 2.
He lost to the
so he won 1 and lost 2, or lost 1. Won 1 and lost 1.
He's been there twice.
Yeah,
which is already 1 more time than Aaron Rodgers has been there in his entire career. So, like, come on. And Patrick Mahomes took over a team that was already ready to win. Josh Allen, no, he hasn't been to the Super Bowl yet. Coin toss could have kept him out of it. Who knows? Well, that's a conversation for a different day, which they did switch up that rule in the playoffs now. But, I mean, if Josh Allen would have taken over a more ready team to win, they'd have been there, So, I don't know. The fact that these 2 are 3 and 4, to me, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers should not be Aaron Rodgers definitely a top 10 pick in this type of draft, but only after all the young guys are gone, in my opinion. So
I don't pick him number 1 overall. That's ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, definitely not. So let's keep going. Joe Burrow. I forgot about Joe Burrow. How is Joe Burrow behind those guys too? Like, I think I would rather than Justin Herbert, as you can see, to Carolina, which I wish they would have taken him in that draft if they had. I believe they had the chance and they might have passed on him. I bet you they wish they would have done that now.
Right.
But I mean, like, I definitely would take either Mahomes or Allen over Burrow for sure.
Yeah.
But my
So
first
far right now, I mean, you never know. Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. I mean, man, there's just man, those guys are studs.
yeah,
There's just a lot of studs. It sucks as a Viking fan and not having one of those guys.
yeah, for sure. But anyway, so my top four would be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. That's my top. That
I
would
would
be my top
go
four personally. So
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I'd go Justin Herbert, then Joe Burrow.
you go over. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 7, Chicago Bears, Russell Wilson. That's fair. Russ still has a lot of talent. His Seahawks teams last couple of years have been pretty bad. Obviously, his offensive line play has struggled. His defense hasn't been the best. I mean, he had 2 really good receivers, but when you have no time, as we've seen, it's hard to make plays. So, number 8, Atlanta Falcons, Lamar Jackson. I do like that pick. Lamar Jackson is a very polarizing figure. Obviously, he's got a good arm. You question some of the decision making, but the stuff he can do with his athleticism
is insane.
Yeah, makes him an absolute stud.
Lamar Jackson's an interesting one because he had his MVP season, and everybody, he was the second best up and coming quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes probably at the time. And then stuff like last season, it kind of was down. His athleticism and everything's still there. But then now people are kind of like not on him so much. But recently, a lot of people have kind of put him up there with just the hardest players to game plan around, matter what. That shows the respect on him. So I think number 8, and especially Atlanta Falcons with the whole, Michael Vick coming from there as well is interesting. But
right, for sure.
So I think
moving down, number 9, the overrated Dak Prescott at number 9. I'm not a huge Dak guy.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Dak. I do think, obviously, in these picks, it's not surprising that it's all quarterbacks going pretty early.
Yeah. And they're who you're going to start your teams with. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But so, I mean, I'm trying to think if we'll see what's next, but I don't think I think Dak Prescott is definitely overrated. But do I think there's a lot more quarterbacks better than him?
Maybe available at this point as well. I can see. And especially with Denver, because obviously we've talked about it, the cycle of get aging veteran quarterback, win Super Bowl, suck for 5 years, get aging quarterback, win Super Bowl, rinse repeat. So that's kind of how they have done things. So the first non-quarterback off the board is Aaron Donald, and I 100% agree with this pick. Aaron Donald is an absolute madman. He's a monster. We've seen what he does. Insane. Especially coming from a defensive tackle position, the disruption he causes and like even pass rushing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little surprised maybe that they went with defense right off the bat, even though because you just think wide receivers are just like the next popular thing. But Aaron Donald is so dominant at defense. Like there's no argument against him being the best defensive player in the league and has been since he's been in the league. Man, he's insane. Just came off Super Bowl and he's well deserved.
Yep. All right, pick number 11, Kyler Murray goes to Washington. I do like Kyler Murray. Again, Kyler Murray is another very polarizing figure. Obviously, last year started off hot. I think he got hurt, and then end of the year, struggled a little bit. That playoff game was kind of an embarrassment. But obviously,
he'd be higher on this list if that didn't happen, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And obviously, then he's got the contract situation. When you lose a guy like DeAndre Hopkins midway through the year, he's not going to start with him this year either. Right. That hurts. But the talent is undeniable. He's got the speed. He's got the arm. Good pick. So, Vikings come up next.
Pick. Okay.
What are we thinking? Let's take a look. Okay. So here's this. Okay, this right here, what I'm about to say, could be an entire podcast episode on its own.
Yeah.
Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins are very similar quarterbacks. I give Kirk the edge in arm, but the thing with the thing you like about a Derek Carr is he's got what people wish Kirk had.
Right.
And who knows, and we'll see this year if he gets it now that he has a coach that believes in him. But the main thing that a lot of Kirk haters or people who don't believe in Kirk say is he doesn't have it between the ears. That is one thing that you got to respect Derek Carr for. The guy's a workhorse. The guy's confident as hell. When it comes to leading a football team, he's amazing at it. I mean, obviously, there's kind of some questions on whether Vegas would have tried to trade him over the past couple of years. Now they signed him to that contract, so that's not happening. But definitely, the leadership ability of Derek Carr is, I think, what would make him a very excellent pick. I mean, obviously, he's limited a little bit in quarterback play, which Kirk has limitations as well. But if you're asking me to pick between Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, yes, I love the leadership aspects of a Derek Carr, but I'm taking Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, That's a harder one for me. I don't know if I pick Kirk Cousins. It would be close. I think like pretty much everything that you said was spot on. Actually, really spot on, and the comparison is definitely spot on. And saying that Derek Carr does kind of have more of that mental side of things, but there's no question in my mind. I think in this past year, Derek Carr has become overrated. Some people would say he's underrated for a lot of his career. I think he's highly overrated now.
I agree.
I think, after his like rookie season, his sophomore season, he was getting that hype to potentially be one of those guys like a Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert at the time. And then he kind of fell off big time. And like you said, then they were talking about trying to trade him, and you didn't know what was going to happen with him. He just didn't impress me, at least during that. And this past year, he did have a really good year, but I don't get convinced off of just one year like that.
But, I mean, out of the 2014 quarterbacks, is he the only one that still has a starting gig?
Who else was?
That was the year Teddy was drafted, and then there wasn't a lot of quarterbacks in that draft.
He was in the second. He was the second round. Yeah,
who was top of the second round? Yeah,
who was the top of the first round that year?
Well, that was the year that Jadeveon Clowney went number 1 overall. I don't remember who else went in that draft, but I don't know if any of those quarterbacks are starting right now.
Yeah. I mean,
2014 draft, and you can't remember any of them if they did. So Derek Carr obviously is doing something right, and you look at him, he's the worst quarterback in the AFC West, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'd go Justin Jefferson with this pick personally, and then hit quarterback in the second round or something. I just don't think he's makes up that much freaking space in the quarterback game at this point.
Yeah, so. But either way, I mean, I don't know if number 12 might be a little high for a Derek Carr.
That's high to me.
But let's take a look. Especially with a guy like Matthew Stafford.
I'd choose Matthew Stafford over Derek Carr, and especially you can say Matthew Stafford's older, I guess, and stuff like that. But if you're talking Aaron Rodgers first overall pick and Tom Brady number 2, then there's no reason Matthew Stafford is behind Derek Carr. In what world has Matthew Stafford ever been a worse quarterback than Derek Carr? Especially not the year when he just won a freaking Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, obviously, and I think we've been on. I mean, I was on record before the Super Bowl saying I thought Matt Stafford was very similar to Kirk Cousins, but we're seeing now put the right team around a quarterback like Matt Stafford, he can kick some ass. So
yeah,
risk taker. That's what you get. That's what you get with Matthew Stafford. You want to talk about between the ears, mental part of the game, and just being a leader and going for it. That's Matthew Stafford. Always has been. So, all right. Next, Baltimore Ravens picking up Davante Adams. I like that pick, especially with all the quarterbacks that are already off the board. I think Davante Adams is a good pick there. We can say that now. We can say that now that he's not on the Packers.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been like, he should be in the third round or something. But
get that Packers jersey off of him, by the way.
So he's the first wide receiver taking. Yes. Is he the first wide receiver you would have taken if off the board here? Because honestly, obviously that's asking if do you think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL, pretty much.
Yeah,
based on right now.
I mean, it's yeah. I think the guy, but did he? Is he helped by a quarterback like the wrongly number 1 overall pick, Aaron Rodgers? We'll see, and that's why this year with a guy like Derek Carr, this will be really telling for Davante Adams. See the type of receiver he actually is, and Derek Carr, exactly.
Derek Carr hasn't had a lot of great wide receivers to throw to. He did have Amari Cooper for a bit there. I'll give him that, and then he has Waller,
But I already took a look at the next one, Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. Definitely would have taken Justin Jefferson here over Tyreek Hill, especially because you don't know what Tyreek Hill is going to be without
another prove it one for him too,
Right, for sure. So I would have taken JJ here over Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill obviously has that straight line speed. Justin Jefferson can kind of play anywhere on the field. So
you can do absolutely everything.
You can. So I don't know about this one. I'm not sure about that, but Myles Garrett, number 16 in Indianapolis Colts. The guy is an absolute machine.
He the second best defensive player in the NFL right now? Maybe.
Who's better when you think about the NFL? Who's a better, when you look at edge rushers, who's better than Danielle Hunter? If he'd stayed healthy the last couple of years, probably would have been up in this spot. But for now, I understand why he's not. But Myles Garrett is an absolute machine, absolute monster. So Jalen Ramsey, number 17 to the Chargers. I like Jalen Ramsey. The guys, you always look at those. A lot of people don't like those guys that talk crap, but Jalen Ramsey, his entire career, has talked high game, and he's backed it up with high level.
Yeah. I like Jalen Ramsey. I like if someone can back it up like he can, then I like it. He's just keeping things competitive,
right? And that's what he does. You get into the head of these receivers, and that's your job.
So I like it. I mean, I feel like we should be seeing Justin Jefferson here soon, but Cooper
Cup
Cup,
at 18. Okay.
you can't
I
deny. I
love
mean, he
Cooper
was the
Cup.
best wide receiver last year.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, you'd like to put JJ here. Of course, we're Vikings fans. Of course we would. But it's hard. It's hard to deny. Cooper Cup was doing this before Matt
Yeah.
Stafford. Even
I don't think
with Jared Goff, he wasn't putting up the numbers he put up last year, but he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah, I love Justin Jefferson. I don't think he's earned to leapfrog Cooper Cup just yet.
Cooper Cup's an absolute stud. Ooh, Philadelphia.
And honestly,
19.
you could argue that Cooper Cup could potentially be up where Devontae Adams is. And Cooper Cup, even with how good he is, and he's picked number 18, you can argue he's still underrated in the eyes of people.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot about TJ Watt. He would be right up there with me, with Myles Garrett in that second best defensive player in the league. We see what the Watt family can do on defense. Obviously, JJ Watt is getting older, but in his prime, JJ Watt was unstoppable. TJ Watt is showing us
high up on this list.
Yeah, TJ Watt is showing us the exact same thing. A guy's an absolute monster. Definitely deserves to be
pretty soon here.
Yeah, Trent Williams to the Steelers. I love Trent Williams. He's getting a little older, but the guy's still. I wish the Vikings would have signed him when we could have, but
I think he's the best offensive lineman right now. I don't know. I know I wanted to imagine if we would have pulled the trigger and got Trent Williams.
Yeah, kept him around. That'd have been. I mean, Christian Darrisaw is going to be solid. Really good football player. Probably, but Trent Williams is Trent Williams. So moving on, Micah Parsons to New England. This guy will be, I think, in the next few years, he's going to be up there with the greats on defense. His rookie season, he comes in as I think they have him still listed as an off-ball like middle linebacker, like Eric Kendricks, but he can't. I think you're starting to see it now. Like a lot of times you think defensive ends are edge rushers, but I think they're starting to make edge rusher like a separate category when it comes to, obviously in the draft, you see it in this type of stuff. I don't think he should be listed as a linebacker. I think he should be listed as a pass rushing specialist or something along those lines, because that's what he does. He's a pass rusher. He's not a traditional linebacker. Mm-hmm. So, but still, I definitely think in the coming years, just think about him on that Bill Belichick coach defense. Scary to think about.
That would be crazy. I think, I agree. This kid's going to be a stud. There's no questions, but I'm not convinced that he deserves pick 21 in this after his rookie season. It was insane. At this point, we're Viking fans, but I choose Justin Jefferson over Micah Parsons. I think a guy like Justin Jefferson impacts a team more than a guy like Micah Parsons, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least this early.
Yeah.
In his career.
Right, let's keep roll. Okay, now Vegas. Vegas.
Come on.
Vegas. Have you heard of Justin Jefferson? What is
going on,
man? Here? Obviously the hype is there with Jamar Chase. He made it to the Super Bowl. You saw what he did all season long. Justin Jefferson did what he did for 2 seasons. Obviously Jamar Chase broke Justin Jefferson's record for rookie receiving yards, which, extra game. It is what it is. The guy's a monster. I do love Jamar Chase. There's a reason that 2019 LSU Tigers team was so good, because they had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So, but come on. Easy. Justin Jefferson here instead of Jamar Chase if you're picking between the two. Vegas, you got it wrong, and it's going to hurt you for years to come.
Yeah. Jamar Chase is a stud, but I don't know how someone can just say he's better than Justin Jefferson. I understand why people try to, but I don't know. I don't agree. I think Justin Jefferson's got to have.
Arizona with the bold move and grabbing a tight end in the first round. Travis Kelce is listed as a tight end, but the guy's a pass catcher. Let's be honest. Obviously, you heard about those type of arguments back when I believe Jimmy Graham was with the Saints and their franchise tagging him. He wanted to be franchise tagged as wide receiver, not a tight end because of the money. Travis Kelce just doesn't need to worry about that, because they're just giving him they give him contracts because he's just that good. The guy's a monster at tight end. Probably non-arguably best tight end in the league. So
yeah.
But 23 though, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little rich.
I don't know what
you could have had Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Should have had Justin.
Yeah, could have had Smith. Just kidding. Nick Bosa to Dallas. I love me some Nick Bosa. The guy's a monster. If it wasn't for his knee injury, he probably would have been picked a lot higher than this. He lost a season of play because of it. So
yeah, I could say, I think he probably was looked at as a higher potential than even TJ Watt before that injury. So
yeah. But the Bosa brothers are both amazing. Another tight end.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I think George Kittle I like George Kittle actually, but I think he's overrated. Like at pick 25, I think there's a massive gap between Kelsey and George Kittle. I've had him on my fantasy team for like 2 years, and honestly, it's been kind of
I know he
underwhelming.
had the one really big season, but after that, he
Yeah.
kind of
He had that one really big one, and after that, it hasn't been that crazy, and he gets hurt all the time.
Right.
I
But
would
I'm
not
just
take a chance at him at
no.
25.
But I'm just sitting here looking at it like you're taking a tight end when you have nobody else on your team at this point.
Yeah, 0. And you're
So
picking George Kittle.
it's questionable. Tennessee Titans are going to stick with Derrick Henry. Taking a running back in the first round is stupid.
I'm not doing
love
that.
Derrick Henry. I hate this pick.
Yeah, you're not talking about in like a regular draft. You're talking about you have every player in the NFL you can choose from, and you pick a running back in the first round. I don't see Derrick Henry being Derrick Henry's a beast, don't get me wrong. Is he way above? I mean, if you want to talk, George Kittle isn't always healthy. So if you're talking about that, I'd rather have a McCaffrey. I wouldn't rather have one for sure, but I don't think Derrick Henry is way above a guy like McCaffrey, Delvin Cook, Jonathan Taylor now, and I don't know. That's a little early for me.
I hate that. I hate it. I do not like this pick. You're not supposed to take a running back in the first round anyway, so don't be taking one in the first round in a redraft where nobody else on your team. Stupid idea, stupid pick. Deebo Samuel going to Tampa. Okay,
No.
Deebo is interesting. He can play all the positions. He can play running back. He can play receiver. The guy's big. Doesn't like signing footballs for kids, but it is what it is. Over Justin Jefferson, though?
No. I like Deebo, but how do you do it over Justin Jefferson? The guy has the most receiving yards in the NFL his first 2 seasons ever. His quarterback is Kirk. I mean, Deebo can argue that he has worse quarterback situation. But Deebo also, he's a guy that doesn't need someone to throw him the ball, really. He can do a lot from the backfield and stuff.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, Deebo is a beast, but I don't see the upside or even the talent right now compared to Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, I don't. Chad, you're crazy, man. I don't understand.
Moving on down.
We haven't even seen a single Viking. We're waiting for Justin Jefferson. I haven't seen a single Viking.
Cam Hayward to the Green Bay Packers.
I don't
know if you don't have any other players on your team. Taking a 33-year-old defensive tackle like Cam Hayward's a beast, but it just doesn't. I don't know.
I don't think is he the 5th best, 4th best defensive player in the NFL? 5th best, I think it would be.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so.
Especially you're taking him.
I choose Joey Bosa.
I would too. I would too. Joey Bosa's younger. He's going to make more of an impact being an edge rusher. What's that?
He'll play for his little bro's team.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I definitely would have taken that over. Jalen.
All right, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Chad, is Chad a Packer fan? Is Chad Reuter a Packer fan?
Yeah,
if he is. Let us know in the comments. Chad Reuter.
You love Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle can be a stud. But there's in zero world is he a first round pick in a redraft and over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
What did he do to deserve that? He didn't even. It wasn't even like he just blew off the freaking NFL last year. He was like an above average rookie receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right. So they got this one wrong.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor taking Jonathan Taylor.
I think you could have had the better of the two over Derrick Henry in this.
Right. But you could have had the better. Bengals had Jamar Chase, but they could have had the better of the 2019 LSU receivers by taking Justin Jefferson in the spot. And they didn't do it. They took a running back. Again, you know how what I just said about running backs earlier. If you have nobody else on your team, you don't want to start with a running back.
Yeah. We're not even being biased anymore.
No.
The fact that Justin Jefferson hasn't got picked is ridiculous. He should be an easy first round.
And will he get picked in the first round?
We got one more to find out.
Chris Jones going to the
even Chris Jones, I don't think he's the 6th best defensive player in the NFL.
No.
So I don't agree with that, even though he is stud.
Yeah. Chad Reuter. There he is. Chad Reuter on Twitter. Find him on Twitter. Tell him how wrong he is. So now the rest of the days, we'll just we're not going to go in depth here. We'll just kind of scroll through the rest of the rounds. Yeah. We'll find some Vikings players in here if there are any. Let's see.
Kind of go.
So Matt Ryan.
I don't even know. So stop right there because obviously we're going to go Kirk Cousins. But Matt Ryan, man, that still seems early for him at this point in his career. But I don't know how many more quarterbacks are left.
Right.
But man, I don't know.
Would you rather had Matt Ryan than Kirk Cousins at this point?
I think I would rather have Kirk Cousins. I would rather have Kirk Cousins. I like his youth. Kirk Cousins is like a deep playoff run from being that quarterback. You know,
Right.
that's what it is. That's where he's away from. He has all the talent and all that stuff, and he has a youth still compared to Matt Ryan.
Yeah. So the first, I mean, youth, he's still 33 years old, but
compared
anyway,
to Matt Ryan.
Yeah. The first quarterback or the first Minnesota Viking off the board is quarterback Kirk Cousins, number 34 to the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals at this point would have Kirk Cousins and they would have Jonathan Taylor, which, you know, is solid, I suppose. But anyway, moving on down the line, Ryan Tannehill going to Kansas City. Okay. Armstead to San Francisco. The Packers go.
All right. Hey, that's cool. Good one. Let's go, Chad. Yeah. I like that for Green Bay. Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo. I like that for Green Bay. He's not even an NFL starter right now, but I like it.
You know, when you waste your first round pick on a defensive tackle and you go with the quarterback here, you know, whatever, good for you. Tampa going Mac Jones.
See, I would take a chance on Mac Jones way before Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, for sure.
And honestly, I might pick him over a lot of these quarterbacks that were on this list.
I would agree. Zach Martin, Tennessee. Trevor Lawrence goes to Buffalo. Nelson. Cowboys. Jeffrey Simmons is a stud, man.
Yeah.
I can do a lot.
J.C. Jackson.
Solid.
J.C. Jackson's under the radar even for me. I know he became took a big step forward, but I feel like I don't appreciate his name yet, and maybe that will happen for me this year. Cam Jordan, been a beast.
Solid edge rusher.
All right.
The Pittsburgh
pick 45. Steelers. Are you kidding me?
Who did Pittsburgh? Did they take a quarterback in the first round? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember who they picked.
They had to, right?
I don't think so, because after Derek Carr Kyler Murray, I don't remember Kyler Murray or someone like that. There was a drop off at quarterback.
Okay, but anyway, so Pittsburgh Steelers get Justin Jefferson. That's a steal. Getting Justin Jefferson 45, solid pick there.
Dude, Tristan Wirfs. Come on, Chad.
Tristan Wirfs to the Eagles. Darius Leonard. Delvin Cook going number 48 to the Los Angeles Chargers. All right.
See, this is when you can start picking beast running backs.
For sure. And especially when someone's going to, if you know, whoever takes him uses him more as a new day running back, we get them out in the open so they're not running up the middle, hurting themselves all the time. Delvin Cook this year, it'd be interesting to see what kind of steps he takes.
I think he's taken a massive step forward, and he's already insane. So I think that Delvin Cook and Kirk Cousins are in decent spots in this. I mean, maybe you could say Kirk Cousins is a little high, but just based off of straight high, it's just the quarterback thing. Yep, Delvin Cook's at a really good spot, and then Justin Jefferson is insanely underrated.
Yeah. So moving on, Jair Alexander, of course, solid. AJ Terrell is pretty good. Jalen Hurts, interesting pick here at number 51 for Baltimore. Mm-hmm. This year is going to be huge for Jalen Hurts. If he can't do it this year with what they've surrounded him with, I don't think he's ever actually going to do it. And that's exactly what Philadelphia is setting up for, to see if he's the guy or if they got to move on. But
right.
Keenan Allen, I like me some Keenan Allen going to the Browns, 52. Matthew Stafford will be his quarterback too. Solid. Minnesota Vikings grabbing tight end
Derek Carr and Mark Andrews.
Okay. So
the
Vikings are rocking with Derek Carr and Mark Andrews.
I feel like there's a receiver I'd rather have out there.
I mean, it might not be a sexy pick, but his ability to carry an offense down the field should be appreciated. You know who else can do that? Number 19 can do that. Okay, Davenport going to Washington. Von Miller drops all the way to 55 to Seattle, getting a little long in the tooth. Denver getting Stephon Diggs.
I would rather have Stephon Diggs than
Mark Andrews. I'm surprised Stephon Diggs took this long to go. You know, there's some receivers I've seen on the board that I would take.
Dude, I love Jalen Waddle, but in what world do you pick him over Stephon Diggs?
Right. I just don't know how Stephon Diggs could drop this low. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy. Atlanta taking Rashawn Gary, Max Crosby going to Chicago. That would suck to put up with if he made it there. Kyle Pitts, the tight end / receiver guy who in Atlanta this year might be the number one target, which is
this could be a massive step forward this year for him.
Because who are they going to have? They're going to have him and Treylon Burks. It's probably their 1-2 options on offense, right?
Drake London.
That's right. So, all right. Interesting. Micah Hyde. I like me some Micah Hyde. I like him a lot more now he's not on the Packers and he took that huge step forward. They probably should have kept him, but they didn't. Fred Warner going to the Jets.
Underrated guy right there.
Marcus Lawrence, solid edge rusher, going to Houston.
I mean, I picked Neil Hunter over him, but
Tyron Smith going to Detroit. Chandler Jones going to Jacksonville. That's pretty cool. Finishing off the second round, jumping to round 3 here. Jaguars, DeForest Buckner, Demario
Buckner.
Davis, Darren Waller to the Texans is nice. I love me some Darren Waller. He struggled. I mean, I think he hurt last year. Was he out with something?
Something happened earlier in the season.
Yeah, because I know he didn't pop
forget.
off as
Maybe it
much
was
as
an
he
injury.
normally does, but
He was
missed time due to
still
injury last
good.
season. Yep.
Yeah.
But when he's on the field and healthy, 68. The Jets getting Mike Evans. A solid spot to get a guy like Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans. In fantasy, he's up and down, but touchdown machine. I remember one year I had him. He had 2 catches for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. So talk about efficiency there.
And then sometimes he'll just not get a touchdown.
Yeah, very touchdown dependent. Khalil Mack going to the nice number to New York Giants. Khalil Mack is taking a step backwards in his age, but still solid. I like CeeDee Lamb.
I'm still surprised. Like even people are higher on this guy in particular is higher on Jalen Waddle than even CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I know. I like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson going to Chicago. He's getting a little old, but still one of the top left tackles in football. DK Metcalf falling to 72. I'm surprised he took that long to go off the board. I mean, big guy, speed. He's not super fast, but catch the ball. He's big target.
He ran like a 4.3.
I still probably would have taken Jalen Waddle over a guy like him, though. Rashawn Slater, 73 to the Broncos. Marcus Lattimore, solid corner, going to Seattle. Jordan Mailata going to Washington. Mike, okay. So you're running. I mean, he's not
I like Mike Williams, but I feel like I had him in fantasy last year, and I feel like he was a little overrated. He's another one of those guys that he'll have like the game where he'll have 172 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then you'll have like 20 yards and touchdowns for 3 games.
But also, you got to look at the rest of the firepower on that team with the guy like Keenan Allen, who is the number 1 receiver, and Austin Eckler, who can do multiple things out of that backfield as well. I think that does take a lot of the touches away from Mike Williams. In this draft, he would be the number 1 receiver. Obviously, you'd be going with Derek Carr, Mike Williams, and of course Mark Andrews, which is a solid 1, 2, 3 player punch right there. I would have rather taken a Stephon Diggs over Mark Andrews. If you're telling me the Vikings could have Derek Carr, Stephon Diggs, and Mike Williams, would take that. I think that'd be a solid 3-player pick right there.
What would I have done? I don't even know. I would probably pick Justin Jefferson in the first round
over Derek Carr. Yeah.
Over Derek Carr, maybe. I forgot who was after Derek Carr. But I would probably pass on Derek Carr.
Matt Stafford was after Derek Carr.
Yeah, I would have picked Matt Stafford.
Yeah. So anyway, keep rolling through. Montez Sweat to Cleveland. Xavier Howard to Baltimore at 78. Trey Lance going to Miami at 79. Trey Lance is a question mark. Obviously, played at a smaller school. The potential is there. I've heard multiple things coming out. At first, I heard he wasn't looking good in camp, and then some people are saying he was looking really good in off-season activities. We'll see what happens under Mike McDaniel. I love me some Mike McDaniel, by the way. Interesting coach there. Jameis Williams going to Indianapolis. I don't know. I mean, I guess
this really running out of quarterbacks right now.
I guess this late is pretty solid. So AJ Brown going to the Chargers.
See, AJ Brown's a guy that I would have rather had than Mike Williams. Easy, all day. AJ Brown over Mike Williams, 10 out of 100 million times, 100 million out of 10 times, whatever. I don't see what world that Mike Williams is better than AJ Brown. I don't know. I just don't.
It's fair.
Sorry, Chad.
I'm not sorry, Chad. Chad made a lot of stupid decisions so far. David Bakhtiari going number 82. Najee Harris, 83 to Philly. Nick Chubb, running backs, 84.
You could argue Nick Chubb should be higher than this.
Vita Vea going to New England. Could you imagine Vita Vea in that defense as well? So far, New England's taken what? Like 3 defensive players? Loading up on defense, which
sounds about right.
Very. So the Raiders get Marcus Mariota back.
See, at this point, I'd take a chance on a freaking
Justin Fields.
Like in real life, though, if this was a real redraft, I think you would take the other talent and take why would you have Marcus Mariota when you could probably have like a guy like, let's think, trying to think of a good example.
Justin Fields, right beneath him.
Not Justin Fields, but like a average ass quarterback. Like if the rest of because Marcus Mariota is very average. He's lucky to even start this year, and you're gonna leave like huge talent on the table for a guy like that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, questionable, but Justin Fields, who's going to be ruined by Chicago, going to Arizona. Elvin Kamara going to Dallas. Elvin Kamara is interesting. Probably won't be starting this season, but it is what it is. Ryan Ramczyk, the offensive tackle, going to Buffalo. Trevon Diggs going to Tennessee. Robert Quinn going to Tampa. This one I don't love. T. Higgins going to Green Bay.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins over Mike Williams too.
Obviously, I don't think T. Higgins has number one receiver potential, but being on the Cincinnati team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, very solid number two option on that team. That would scare me a little bit. I'm glad the Packers do not have him. Bobby Wagner going to San Francisco. Okay. Austin Eckler going to the Kansas City Chiefs. That one's interesting. I do love me some Austin Eckler. Derwin James, a safety, going to Cincinnati. And Josh Allen, the linebacker, going to the Los Angeles Rams. Closes out round.
So no Vikings that round.
Nope.
So we're waiting to see Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks, Darius Smith, Daniil Hunter.
Adam there hasn't been a ton of linebackers taken, has there? Outside of pass rushing linebackers. So
Wagner.
Oh, Wagner, yeah.
And and then what's his name from there's Leonard from Colts. There's been Warner from San Francisco.
Yeah. So there's been a couple, but Joe Mixon going to Los Angeles. Trey Hendrickson going to Cincinnati, which is where he is anyway. Antoine Winfield Jr. going to the Kansas City Chiefs. And Antoine Winfield Jr., very solid. I wish we'd have taken him in that draft. San Francisco 49ers, Daniel Jones. Okay. I mean, I would rather just stuck with Jimmy G other than
that's another guy though. Would I rather have Daniel Jones than Marcus Mariota at this point? Maybe. No, I don't know. Marcus Mariota hasn't done anything either.
Neither is Daniel Jones. Anyway, Brian Burns going to Green Bay. That would scare me. Brian Burns, very solid edge rusher. Tampa Bay getting Marcus Williams. We all know Marcus Williams well. Teddy, okay, all right. Teddy Bridgewater going to Tennessee. Would you want Teddy more than some of the other quarterbacks we've seen go so far?
Over Marcus Mariota? Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. You at that pick for Marcus Mariota, Elvin Kamara got picked right after him. I'd way rather take a chance on an Elvin Kamara than a guy that literally is just starting for the first time this year in 5 years.
Right, for sure. Joel Bitonio going to Buffalo. Terry McLaurin going to Dallas. I like Terry McLaurin. He's got a lot of money. Justin Jefferson's going to get a lot of money too when that time comes. Harold Landry going to Arizona. Levante David going to Las Vegas. Carson Wentz going to the New England Patriots.
I would take a chance on Carson Wentz over Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I probably would too. He's shown more recently, of course.
Sorry, I'm not trying to come too hard at you, Chad, but the Justin Jefferson thing pissed me off a little bit. So
now we're just ripping your draft apart. Yeah. Now, Kevin Byard going to Pittsburgh. Devontae Smith staying in Philadelphia. Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle. Ooh, Zach Wilson. I would have taken a chance on Zach Wilson over a guy like Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, easily.
I'd have taken Zach Wilson over Derek Carr.
I mean, even a guy like what's his face, Trevor Lawrence. I would probably take a shot at him over Derek Carr.
I mean, it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to build for the future, a guy like Derek Carr isn't really future oriented. If you're trying to build a little bit,
he could just if he built off what he did last season, then maybe he'll have the dude's in his 30s. Yeah, it's not like he's old or anything. I don't know. Right. Trevor Lawrence has a chance still to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league. So
right. All right. Eric Armstead going to Indianapolis. Devondre Campbell going to Miami. Leonard Williams going to Baltimore. Javon Holland going to Cleveland. Ooh, Randy Gregory. Obviously, off the field issues. The Vikings, as I just saw something pop up with the most arrests since 2000. The year 2000 is what it is. But Randy Gregory, when he's on the field, good pass rusher.
Yeah.
Very, very solid. I don't know if I'd put, obviously he's at 117, so he's not like a top edge rusher, but he'll get the job done for sure. I would rather take Daniil Hunter in this spot, though. If we're taking an edge, I'd rather take Daniil Hunter.
Right. The fact that we haven't seen a Daniil Hunter yet is crazy.
Right. Or Zadarius
Smith.
Yeah. DJ Moore to Washington. I like DJ Moore. He's solid. Right. Baker Mayfield going to Seattle. People thought he was going to go there anyway. Just today got traded to Carolina. The first round quarterback carousel keeps on rolling. Saquon Barkley to Denver. Okay. Interesting. Saquon Barkley, as we've talked about in our mock draft videos, a lot of potential. See what happens there. Atlanta, Michael
Dude, I like
Fitzpatrick.
that. That's
I
a
do.
steal at this
That is a
pick, I feel
steal.
like.
Yeah. How did he drop all the way to 121? Because he's a safety, but other
I don't
safeties
know.
have been taken.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Corey Linsley going to Chicago. Corey Linsley is very solid. Chase Young going 123 to Carolina. Love me some Chase Young.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins, Kenny Clark.
Wait, go back up. Christian. All right, never mind. You're good. Never mind.
Christian McCaffrey going 126 to
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, some other running backs went before him. That's odd. I mean, I get it. He's got injury issues, but
so does freaking George Kittle, and you put him in the first round as a tight end.
That's true. Yeah. Brandon Sheriff. Oh, I see something. Ooh. Jacksonville Jaguars getting Harrison Smith at pick 128. Though Smith's entering his 11th season, he is still capable of making plays in coverage and playing like a linebacker in the box. Yeah, very true. Yeah, good pick. Solid spot for Harrison Smith. Yeah. Well, not a solid team, but a solid. Jacksonville's getting a steal here with Harrison Smith. Right. 28. So solid. And that will end the fourth round. A few more rounds.
Hunter or Eric Kendricks or
Smith. Through them. Tyler Lockett, Jacksonville. Emmanuel Ogbah, Detroit. Michael Thomas. That
could be a steal.
Yeah. Matt Judon, very solid last year. 3-time Pro Bowler. I didn't know that. Wow. Darius Slay. What do they call him? Darius Big Play Slay.
Judon's that pick, but
Denzel Ward all the way down to 134. That's good. Top cornerback going that low. All right. Jonathan Allen, very solid pass rusher for Washington, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, don't people think he's better than the Jonathan Allen or whatever, Josh Allen or whatever for Jacksonville?
Maybe. Could be. Joe Thuney going to Atlanta. Budda Baker. Jamal Adams staying in Seattle. Kenny Moore going to Washington. Minnesota takes Marlon Humphrey, cornerback. Okay, I like that one.
Yeah.
Loading up on some of those defensive players. Marlon Humphrey, very, very, very solid cornerback. Like him a lot. Colton Miller, Shaq Barrett going to Baltimore. Jesse Bates, Miami. Shaq Mason, Indy.
All right. Zadarius Smith.
Get the Vikings jersey on him, Chad. Come on, get a better picture.
I love Zadarius Smith, but I'd have to be honest with you, say that I'm surprised he's still above Danielle Hunter.
I didn't think.
In my opinion, I don't know, man. Danielle Hunter, when healthy, he hasn't. It's been this last couple of years been spotty, but man, he's top 5 edge rusher in the NFL.
Right. And I like how they have to put it on there if he can stay healthy. He had one season with injuries. Okay, he's gonna be fine. I promise.
Right.
Jordan Poyer going to New Orleans. That's a good pick. Tua going to Philly.
I'd take a chance on Tua over Marcus Mariota.
Would you take a chance on Mitch Trubisky over Marcus Mariota?
Dude, I don't see why not.
I guess you really don't know what you're
Mariota done better than Mitchell Trubisky?
Right.
I mean, if at this spot I would, or maybe it's like Marcus Mariota got picked at like freaking 90 something or 78, I think it was, or something. That's crazy. There's so much talent on there.
New England goes with Hunter Renfrow. Vegas goes with Quinnen Williams. Arizona goes with Chris Godwin. Obviously, the knee injury sucks, but without that, solid receiver. Patrick Surtain II goes to Dallas. Kayvon Thibodeau goes to Buffalo. Now we're kind of getting into some of the younger guys here.
Yeah.
Son Reddick going to Tennessee.
Or Eric
Dallas,
Kendricks, but
Goddard going to Tampa. Donovan Smith going to Green Bay. Brandon Cooks going to San Francisco. Creed Humphrey staying in Kansas City. Stephon Gilmore going to Cincinnati. Amari Cooper going to LA. So we had technically one Viking in that round, right?
Yeah. And now we haven't seen Danielle Hunter, Eric Kendricks, or Adam Thielen, CJ Ham.
We got Kendall Fuller. We got Marquise Brown. Danielle Hunter goes in the 6th round, 163 to Kansas City. Yeah.
Massive steal.
For sure.
This guy he's been a steal twice in his life now. Officially.
Yeah, for sure. Almost 3 times with that first contract he signed. So
true.
Yeah, absolute stud steal for them at 163. Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones, like one of the only Packers I actually like. So 164 to San Francisco is a good pick there. Green Bay getting Zeke. Okay. Zeke is we'll see what Zeke does this year. Already slimmed down a little bit. Wyatt Teller going to Tampa. Tremaine Edmonds going to Tennessee. Tre'Davious White going to Buffalo, staying in Buffalo. Davis Mills going to Dallas.
That's crazy that even made it on here.
Sauce going 170 to Arizona. Orlando Brown going to Vegas. Nope. Yes, Vegas. Jason Kelsey, solid center, aging a little bit, but still one of the top centers going to New England. Aiden Hutchinson going to Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah, without, you didn't have a chance at TJ Watt. So getting Aiden Hutchinson, a lot of potential with him. Hawkinson, tight end, going to Philly. Gregory Rousseau going to New Orleans. Garrett Bowles going to LA. Garrett Wilson going to Indianapolis. I like that pick. I like me some G-Dub. Preston Smith going to Miami. Tyrann Mathieu going to Baltimore. Fletcher Cox. Minnesota Vikings grab Jimmy Ward. Ooh, loading up on another corner. All right.
We ain't messing around on corners now.
What's that?
So we're not messing around on our corners on our secondary.
Not, but I do like that pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Adrian Phillips going to Washington. Deontay Johnson, solid, going to
That's
Seattle.
A steal at that point, in my opinion.
Leonard Floyd going to Denver. Cordero staying in Atlanta. Obviously, Cordero finally had a resurgent season. They have him as wide receiver, but he's a running back. Don't get that wrong.
I'm excited to see how he does this season.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, sorry, you should have been way higher than this.
Yeah.
Six game suspension. That's, I don't know. I can handle that.
Braden Smith, Christian Watson, interesting there. Jack Conklin. Would you Christian Watson over Adam Thielen? Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Conklin, Casey Hayward, DJ Reader, Chidobe Awuzie. All right, we're running out of time to get an Eric Kendricks pick.
Or an Adam Thielen.
We already did round 6, right? Yep.
Honestly, even Brian O'Neill.
Final round. Let's see where we go here. Jacksonville, Lyle Collins, Allen Robinson going to Detroit. Good pick for them. Ed Oliver, Carlton Davis, Dawson Knox going to New York, Leonard Fournette, DJ Reed, Zach Ertz, JJ Watt still on this list. All right, JJ Watt still has something in the tank. Penei Sewell, solid left, going to be a great left tackle going to Seattle. Damian Harris going to Washington. Okay. Minnesota Vikings taking gas mask Laramie Tunzel. Okay, interesting pick. Solid left tackle.
We need tackles, man.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Kicker Justin Tucker going to Cleveland. All right,
she's well deserved to be picked in this.
Elton Jenkins going to the Ravens. Andrew Thomas to Miami. Ryan Jensen, Ben Jones, Andy Dalton going to New Orleans. Okay, Justin Simmons going to Philly. Rasul Douglas going to Pittsburgh. Chris Lindstrom, New England. Jadeveon Clowney. Wow, that's low for Jadeveon Clowney. I'm surprised at that. Quandre Diggs. Rob Havenstein. Michael Pittman. Robert Woods. Devin White. Nate Hobbs going to Green Bay.
Come on.
Adoree Jackson. Roquan Smith. David Andrews.
Chad. Don't do this, Chad.
Okay.
Come on, Chad.
Okay.
Come on.
Can we just go find the Vikings on this list, or is it gonna? Okay, while we're scrolling here to find the Vikings, let's talk about the people that Chad missed in his draft. Okay, so you didn't have. Okay, I can almost give you a pass. So here's our pick. I can almost give you a pass for not having Eric Kendrick, or not. I can almost give you a pass for not having Adam Thielen. He's been injured a couple years. He's aging out a little bit. Still solid. I can almost give you a pass for not having him. But to not have Eric Kendricks in a 7-round mock draft of the entire NFL, to go along with Aaron Rodgers at 1 and Justin Jefferson not being in the first round after some other receivers.
Yeah.
Chad, you've lost all credibility.
The Justin Jefferson thing pisses me off. He has to be a Miami fan. That's just the only thing. He had Tyreek Hill number 14 and freaking Jalen Waddle number 29 or whatever. That's just crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's dumb. But anyway, so what the Vikings did end up with is Derek Carr in the first round, going down Mark Andrews, Mike Williams, Randy Gregory, Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Ward, Laramie Tunzel.
Yeah.
Solid draft.
I think it's all right. I'd honestly say I don't like it. I like the last 4 picks the best. I think Derek Carr is way too early in a redraft for him. I would have rather took a chance on Zach Wilson in like the 4th, 5th round probably.
Right. And taking Justin Jefferson.
I mean, maybe that's a hard one, but not Derek Carr number 12 overall when you have so much talent. So much talent out there still.
Yeah. See, my top 3, seeing where they would have gone, is I'd have taken JJ at 12.
Yeah.
Second round. Where were we at in the second round? We were a little bit lower.
It was snake draft, so we're towards the bottom.
Yeah, but
kind of towards the bottom.
I would have even taken I would have taken a chance on one of the other quarterbacks that wasn't taken, like you said, or take a quarterback later. But then I would have taken like a Stephon Diggs or something as a second receiver, and have JJ and Diggs with a quarterback later on.
Yeah, I'd rather see AJ Yeah, JJ and Diggs instead of Mike Williams and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Round 3, you could have gotten like a mid-tier quarterback, I guess, but
yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, interesting draft, but I mean it's Chad Reuter, so I'm already not a fan. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave us a like. Leave us a like on our thoughts, not on the draft. Please don't dislike this video because of the draft. Like the video because we tore it apart because he screwed the Vikings over a lot in this draft. Let us know down in the comment section your opinion on this guy's draft. I'm sure if you're all Vikings fans in the comments, you'll agree the draft sucked. Where Vikings players were was terrible. So whatever. But if you want to check out some of our other videos, you can click those links right up here. Go check those out. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 500 subscribers, and we will see you guys in the next episode of the GG Sports Podcast.
Skol Vikes.